down by the river. They're recording this. My boy, let me tell you something. I was born in when was I born? It was 1922, you see. And that was the roaring 20s. That's when I was born, in the roaring 20s. And, you see, the roaring 20s was a fun decade in American history. You could smoke and gamble and, well, they were trying to get us to stop drinking, but we wasn't going. And you see, we said, no, we ain't going. And we didn't. We stayed. We stayed in the dives and we drink and we smoked. And then you watch the burlesque women. Oh, them burlesque women. They were something mighty fine to see. Well, that's about all I can remember about that decade.
How old are you, man?
Hey, you move up to the, around the 40s when they had the Great Depression. Or was that the 30s?
When the last time you had sex?
Boy, it was one of them 2 decades. The last time I had sex was back in the roaring 20s, when I was born. I was about 10 years old and I took a burlesque dancer from behind there. And she liked it, boy. She liked it very much. So, what I was saying was, they move up to the Great Depression, you see. And you get in there and people started losing their jobs. People started fornicating on each other and they started getting divorced. See, because they got tired of, they got tired. They just got tired. They got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And after that, you know, you hop up and you got the 60s. And in the 60s, oh boy, you talking about some psychedelic shit, boy. That shit was crazy. We walk around, they smoke opium and all them other kind of drugs. And then I was walking around and that shit was crazy. You see, they had this little concert out in the big old field. It was called the Woodstock, you see. And at this Woodstock, you know, the women walk around topless in public. And you got these other group of people they called hippies. And they're running around barefoot. And they're rubbing mud all over themselves. And that was just the damnedest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, that's even beat the Great Depression and the roaring 20s. Well, I mean, that shit, and people was doing them drugs. Oh, shit, they were doing them drugs. And that shit was just crazy, you know. So that was the 60s. Let's see what I talk about. I talk about the 20s, the 30s, and the 40s. I skipped the 50s. And nothing really happened in the 50s. I mean, 50s was okay. But, you know, that's fucking, well, you got Elvis back there, but that's about it. And so you get up to the 70s. You see, they called the disco era. And, boy, that shit was crazy. And people get in there and you go to Studio 54, you see. And you go in there and you do your hibbity-jibbity. You do your dancing. You know, me, I had a nice, what they call that, polyester suit there. It was a baby blue. And I looked sharp as shit. I looked sharper than a razor blade cutting somebody's face. That's how sharp I was. And, you know, I did that for a while, you know, shake my ass around a little bit. And then I walked in a room by accident. You see, now you got to pay close attention because what I'm going to tell you is some crazy fucked up shit. All right, so I walked into this room. And I looked over and I saw a fucking cat sitting there, you see. And the cat was doing a fucking line, a crack. And I said, that's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. So now that doesn't beat the 60s. That doesn't beat the 30s and the roaring 20s. That doesn't beat all 3 of them. Woodstock and all. I never seen a damn cat do a line of cocaine in my life until I walked in on that room and saw that cat snorting that cocaine. And I looked over and then I seen the club owner. Well, my God, that man done smoked. He didn't smoke. Well, you can't see. He wasn't smoking crack. That's not what I'm saying. He was doing the lines, you see. He did them lines that crack. And he had a wife over there and her nose was bleeding. And I said, come here, sweetie, I got a napkin. And she didn't respond, you see. And then right then I knew she was dead, so I got the hell up out of there. I left that. I never went back to Studio 54 after that. And eventually they shut it down. But like you say, that's crazy shit. Okay, so that's the 70s. Now you move up to the 80s, and boy, I'll be damned, you got this thing called the gangs, you see. That's when the youth started beating people up. They tried to beat up old people like me. But you see, I wasn't going. I done seen too much in my day to be going and getting beat up by a bunch of young street punks. And so I beat them up. And then this one day, this director guy was walking by, and he had a little film with him, and they saw me dancing in the alleyway because I just beat somebody up. And I was happy, so I was dancing. And he said, what kind of dancing is that? And I said, well, I just took his face, so I guess you could call it break dancing. And he said it was break dancing, and that's what I told him. And so he saw me doing the break dancing. So there you go. That's how the break dancing came to be. He put it in the movie, and it started a worldwide trend of break dancing. See, so now you're talking to the originator of break dancing. Now, see, you didn't know that when I started down, did you? You didn't know that. You didn't know I did that. So, and now you know. You see. And so that's the 80s. You know, I created the breakdancing in the 80s. And then you get to the 90s. Oh, shit, the 90s. Let me tell you something about that. Well, you see, this one guy made this little thing that sent an email. They call it electronic mail. He sent it from one computer in his room there, and it sent it down the hallway to another one. And then that gave birth to the internet. And then these guys make Microsoft and all that shit, and now we got all this. And then see, this is how you can record because of technology. You see, it's a technology that's what allows you to do that. And so now you're recording me, and it's because that one guy sent that email from his room down yonder to the other room where the other computer is. You see, and so that's how that came to be. We call that the birth of the computer age, right there in the 90s. But I think it really started in the 80s. But I was too busy making breakdance in the 80s, so they didn't worry about that. So then you get to the 2000s, the millennium, and people was all scared about the what they call that, the millennium bug, the Y, what is it called, the Y2K bug or some shit like that or something. Anyway, they thought, all the computer technology they had made was going to be destroyed. You see, and so it wasn't even destroyed. You see, we here on the internet right now. So, they just got scary and shit, and they just wanted to act up, try to get people all mixed up and shit. So that's the millennium. And so now we here and it's 2012. And people are saying, they're like, oh, this is going to be the last year of the earth. Because, this year in December, the Mayan calendar ends. And they think we all going to die. Or we all going to go, we're going to go out of our orbit and we're going to fly off into space. Lose our orbit around the sun and just fly off and freeze to death out there in that space coldness. That's what I call it, the space, the coldness of space there. You see, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. Because it hadn't happened yet. Everything I talked about happened already. But you see, that's where we're at now. You see, and if it happens, hey, you got this recording. You can share the story. The story will be out there on the internet and be flown out around space on them there radio waves and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we're at now. And then, you know, it was good talking. Did you learn anything, boy? That's the question. You got to answer that. Now I'm done talking. You got to answer the question now. Did you learn something?
Yeah, can you repeat it all? I was not paying attention very well.
Ah, shit. I'm going to sit here and told you the damn 80 years worth of history. I ain't about to say shit. I ain't speaking no more. Oh, shit. But I need water and shit. I'm about to die telling my life story, and you talking about some repeated. You catch my old ass. I ain't repeating that shit. I ain't repeating the damn thing, boy.
Why?
Alright. Boy, I just recited 80 years of history. How you want me to repeat all that shit?
From the 60s, from the 40s you can repeat all.
Repeat from the 40s? Hell, the only thing I talked about before that was only two things. That's most of my fucking story. Shit. Well, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Gotta be motherfucking kidding me, boy. Shit. I ain't repeating shit. I asked you a damn question. That's what's wrong with y'all today. You don't fucking listen. You play the video game and you don't fucking listen. If say, I didn't hear it, can you repeat it from the 40s? And I done sat here and repeated it 18 damn times, and you still didn't get it. So I'm going to repeat it a 19th time. I understand that. Now I don't get it.
User disconnected from your channel.
You know what you can do, though? You can stop recording and play that shit back and listen to it.
Shut up. I understand everything. Okay, it's okay.
You understand me now, huh?
Yes, I understand you now, and you are one freak. Black.
I'm 127 years old. That's how old I am.
You are 127, my dear.
127, you see.
12. About 12 years old you are.
Okay, you want me to talk about the 1800s? That's when I came into being. I was born in 1886. Oh, 86 or 83? Ah, shit. Time has gotten to me. Oh, that rhymes. You understand that? All right, you can stop recording now. Can you play it back so I can hear it?
Oh.